What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Bourbon and Bullshit, Life After Retail again. This episode was actually really highly requested as so many people identified with the life of retail, service industry, medical field, etc. So hopefully you guys enjoyed and hopefully use this episode as motivation to quit the job that you hate and give yourself the opportunity to do something new. We're going to jump right back in with Amelia and Josh. Thanks, guys. Hi guys, and we are back. We enjoyed ourselves in the hallway dealing with some more drinks and having some random interactions with my two wonderful dogs and my lovely fiance. For the record, Amelia said that she will take canela.
That's false.
Hey, it's my show.
I'll take cocoa.
Alternative facts. So we were rounding out, obviously, who's coming with me, who you would want to bring. And we talked about just kind of like that camaraderie about, hey, on the way out, I want everyone else to come up, and kind of reaffirming to someone else, to everyone's point, that we have those skill sets. On my way out, I saw like 3 or 4 people like, hey, man, was it worth it? You have no fucking idea. When you guys were in Christmas and you're like, oh my God, I'm working 55 hours, 65 hours. I'm just like, I have the day off. I have banked some holidays off I didn't know. I'm just like, we have MLK off? Like, yeah. Oh, okay. I did not plan that. And I have people like, I just redid this aisle. But glad to see that a lot of people are making the move. Life after retail. Please understand, for anyone who's listening, you have the skills to move on. There's scary moments. I'll be the first one to tell you that my transition was really humbling. You went from being top of your class, top of I knew everything comfortably. I could just say I knew what I was doing, to hey, can you check my email real quick? I don't know what's going on with this. I'm a mess.
Second guessing everything.
Everything was a second guess. I'm getting nervous during presentations. I host a podcast, and now I'm like fucking in front of like 3 teenagers talking about, I'm just like, what is going on with me? I've never been this nervous in my life. So it came from like a space of like, I went from being, like I said, a top dog. People would call me for questions. People still call me for questions. I don't work for the company. People are asking me, hey, where did you find this? I haven't had access to your system in 3 months, but here and here and here. It's like, oh, it was there. Well, fuck. You guys should probably
maybe you figure it out yourself.
Yeah, maybe you guys should move up faster. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if in 4 months you haven't adjusted anything, that sucks for you. But so for anyone who is scared, as the person that most recently made a transition to non-retail space, at least my role, do it. Take the leap.
Send me a resume.
Yeah, send Amelia your resume. Actually, send it to me because I will send it to her. There's some complicated parts here. But you have those skills, man. And like, that's just, it sucks because I think the company culture, or any company culture, any retail culture, is we want to make sure you're really, really good at your job, but never tell you that you're good enough to leave and go somewhere else or do something else. And to Millie's point earlier, the loudest person in the room now gets moved up. Meanwhile, you're probably the most skilled person in the area. But because you just said, hey, my worker will speak for me, you never took the chance. So that's your moment of zen from Bourbon and Bullshit. It doesn't happen very often, but here we are. So we went ahead and poured ourselves up a second drink of the day because I'm a lush and I force my people to drink with me. The second drink of the day is a banana bread old fashioned. Yes, for all of you who are like me, who want desserts at every aspect of your life, I put it into liquid form. So this one is made with creme de banane, banana liqueur, or an elevated 99 bananas, as Josh put it eloquently.
That's right.
About a half an ounce of that. 2 ounces of high proof bourbon. We like to keep it saucy. I'm sorry for people who don't like my intro. A dash of cocoa bitters, a dash of black walnut bitters, and it's a simple syrup that I made using light brown sugar because I didn't want it to overpower the flavor and make it feel like a baked good in bruleed banana slices because I'm extra for no good reason. Amelia, what do you think of the drink?
It is fantastic.
It didn't feel too overpowering. It didn't feel too strong.
It's like banana bread. Old fashioned, which is exactly its name, but there's no better description.
Honestly, I was hoping to give you guys something. Jesus, I just had mine, and now that water's broken it down a little bit. It's better.
Yeah.
It's literally is banana bread.
I'm so mad that I haven't made this before.
It's dangerous. That's the word I would
Yeah.
use to describe it, as dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You get those drinks, you're like, oh man, this is dangerous. I could put down 10 of these.
Yeah.
Like it's dangerous. It is smooth. It's not overly sweet.
It tastes...
And we just came from sours. We just had a table full of sours.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a water in between, but
we don't hydrate here. I'm sure.
But now, going to this, something that, it's a dessert liqueur or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
It's smooth.
It's very good.
So full transparency, I found this recipe online looking for something, a new rift, and I found like 4 options, and this was the one I landed on because the others felt like apple pie old fashioned. I was like, that feels like it would be too sweet.
I'd
I
try
like
it.
apple.
I'd try it though.
I would try the shit out of it, but it was asking for like Crown Royal apple, and I don't
crapple.
really, crapple, and I don't exactly that name made me super hesitant. Crapple. Amelia's over here eating the sugar off the bananas.
Yep, that's true.
Real talk. But it was one of those things that like I wanted to make sure you guys enjoyed for the show. We're going to go ahead into our next question. So this is just a real quick one. And in between this, I'm going to go and reach over I'm going to reach over and get the barrel proof because we're going to make this a one shot because it feels right. So Amelia, since you haven't been here before to share your experiences and stories, transferable skills, what did life in retail make you better at personally in your real life? For example, myself, apparently have a game show host voice that I can't turn off right away. Whenever I'm doing a presentation or someone who I'm not super comfortable with, I turn into this fictitious character that's not me, and where I say, hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? And it's something that if you don't see my face might sound halfway real, and then you see me and you're like, this motherfucker's fake.
There's no way.
It does not sound real.
You'd be surprised how
Not
many
even halfway real.
No, you'd be, because you know me. You know how many times I've shown up, like I went on an assignment. I was going to go to Rhode Island and lead a team. And I had the job interview voice or the game show vote. When I pulled up in the airport to meet the team for the first time, they're like, you are not what I expected. I was like, what did you expect? Like someone, like a 45-year-old man, a 45-year-old white man with like a gray hair, just like, hey guys, how's everybody doing? I was like, no. I had a backwards hat. I'm like, I'm going to go get drunk because I don't like flying.
That is true. I have flown with you.
Fucking, what time was it that we were flying? What time of the day?
Doesn't
It was
matter.
so
Time's not real in an
early.
airport.
It was so early.
Doesn't matter.
The airport is a fucking wasteland of
not real.
rules. It's not real.
You can drink whenever you want.
It exists outside of real time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
A
like
little,
8 in the morning.
It was earlier than that.
No,
we
it
had
was.
to get there at like, I don't know, say 6 a.m. Our flight was at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
You had a little apothecary.
Oh, yeah. So the rules for the airport is that you could only have 3 ounces. So I poured a bunch of those. Bourbon.
You like pulled out of your pocket a bunch of like little mini bottles.
I've seen that movie, Flight, right?
Yeah.
Denzel.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
I just had a little bit. I'm going to pour this in my mouth.
Hey, you want some? Yeah, I'll have some.
Yeah, I'm glad she admitted that because I was about to be like, not one of you turned me down. No one who's standing in front of me judging me. You know, it's 5 in the morning, right? As they reach for what I'm handing them, so this is fine. And we almost missed our flight, but that's fine.
That is true. We did.
We made it.
We were the last people on, and we had to run and apologize.
I didn't apologize to anybody.
way.
I got on the
Home
flight.
It's like a Home Alone scene.
Yes and no. We made it. They let us on, and I didn't have to wait for 14 people to put their bags up. It was the best experience getting into the airport.
Oh my goodness, it was my nightmare.
So what you're saying is TSA pre-check's not the thing to do.
Not for me.
I love TSA pre-check.
I need to do
I
that.
love it.
We do. I need that.
Fucking $12 a year. You kidding me?
$12. Wait, really?
It's $72 for 5 years.
Do they bill
maybe
you?
$13 a year.
Do they bill you yearly?
No, you pay the whole thing up front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You go to like
We
Staples and
talk
get
about
fingerprints.
that all the time, and we just never do it.
I don't fly enough for that. Wait,
I did it like 2 years
how
ago.
are we here now? I wanted to find out the transferable skills that Amelia
Talk about
has.
getting drunk on a flight.
All right, we'll get back to that because I think that's actually really funny.
It was a great story, and it was a fantastic
Welcome
flight. I
to
will
the
say that.
podcast.
So
Follow along.
it was. Oh wait. Did you say on record it was a fantastic flight?
I mean, I had a couple Bloody Marys. Ooh. So yes. What?
And who encouraged
I've
that?
never been a fan.
What do you mean?
Who encouraged us getting drunk at 5 in the morning? The same
None
problematic
other
person
than
that almost
Amelia
made,
Earhart.
made us late.
That is true. You did run away, and we had to find you.
You want to tell him this? Go ahead and tell Josh and the listeners the story, please, because I didn't realize that everyone had panicked.
Nobody panicked.
Your SO was like, I lost him.
So we're at the gate. We're going to Louisville.
Are we at MCO?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to Louisville for a vacation. So Rosanna and I, and then you and my significant other, and we're all there. You roll up to the gate with your apothecary bottles.
She had one in her jacket recently.
I did. He's like, hey, I have, what was it, Booker's?
Yeah, I think it was Booker. Yeah,
so it was good stuff too. He's like,
yeah,
I don't bring trash.
You don't got Popov in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't do that.
He pulls out his pocket. He's like, I have this, and I'm like, you have that? And he's like, do you want some? Yeah.
She made a face at first, like, yeah,
I'll take some.
We're on vacation.
Vacation. I took it, and then you and my partner ran to find breakfast. But they ran in opposite directions. To find breakfast.
So we ran in here's the part she didn't see. We ran in the same direction. We're looking at breakfast, and I said, I also want a drink. And her SO said, yeah, I'm down. So we went and got drinks. And as I'm like, hey, when the drink is getting made, I'm gonna go use the restroom. And he said something. I don't hear him. I just go do something else. And when I come back, he's gone. I get my drink, and then I find him like scat. He's like, hey, we lost you. They're calling us for the flight. I was like, we've had 2 drinks already. Like, the second one's in front of us. We have to finish this. He's like, I guess you're right. So we are finishing the drink. So when they finally find me, they're like, we're gonna be late. I was like, no, they delayed the flight.
So mixed up.
No, they delayed the flight, didn't they?
Not that much. So you guys ran off to go and get a drink / breakfast.
It was breakfast, and I turned it into a drink.
Right. So we're sitting at the gate, me and your fiance.
Mm-hmm.
You guys disappear. My other half comes running back full speed and says, I've lost him.
But you're right. I am mixed up.
But I think I know where he went.
I went to the bar.
And I'm like, okay, as long as you're back at this time.
When he found me,
we're fine.
We ordered more drinks.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to go find him. And he ran off. And I looked over at your fiance, and she is reading a book. And she looked up, like, without missing a beat. And she's like, let him run it off.
I'm a child.
Golden retriever energy. Just get rid of it.
And then everyone was back at the gate in time. And then there was a delay. It was going to be like, they said like half an hour or so. Yeah. And like,
sounds like a
me
green light to
and
me.
your fiance are very like, we need to be here. When they say that we need to get on the flight, we need to get on the flight. Like, we have to be here. And we got encouraged to go and have some beverages.
Hi.
So we fell for it. So we went, and I had a couple Bloody Marys. Mm-hmm. And by the time we got back to the gate, everybody had boarded, and we had not. They had to reopen the gate for us so that we could get on.
To be clear, let's say they said delayed till 6:30. We showed up at 6:30. And they're like, we closed the gate. Your timeline's not accurate, sir. We showed up at 6:29. Your timeline's not accurate. You said 6:30. We're here before that. You fucking let us on. And they're like, well, I guess you're right. I was like, no, I'm not. Guess. Like, we're not guessing. Let us on the fucking flight. You delayed us. We were here 30 minutes ago when we should have left, bitch. Let us be on the flight.
Nobody used any profanity, but they knew that they messed up because we're like, you said to be back at this time, and we're here right now. And they're like, oh. So they like printed out paper tickets for us or whatever.
Some riffraff
indeed. And then we ran on the flight. We were the last ones on there. We ended up getting our seats, and the whole time, me and your fiance were like, oh, this is the worst. This is our nightmare. Everyone's like staring at us, and you and my other half were like skipping down the aisles. Like,
it was fantastic.
We didn't have to wait for anything. This is the best.
Waiting down
we
the
should do this every time.
Nothing.
Thank you. I'm not waiting for people to put away their bags. I'm not waiting. No. I'm not hearing screaming kids. I'm not hearing anyone angry. I'm like, hey man, move. I'm not hearing anyone arguing. Like, can I have the window? No. I got to my seat.
You don't get to guess where your seat is either, because you just picked the open one.
That's right.
That's where you're at.
I got to my seat. You know what happened 5 minutes after I got got to my seat, we took off. That was the greatest fucking onboarding ever. And they're like, this is my nightmare. My fiance is like, I'm mad. I was like, I'm going to sleep. Like, I had 6 drinks.
It's not even sun up yet.
And I don't like flying. So I'm also on a Xanax. This was the
That's
greatest.
the important part. That's how we lost him.
Okay.
I was on drugs.
Now it checks out.
It was a good trip.
Don't mix-
and that was
Don't mix drugs and
flying
alcohol.
out to vacation. That was hour 2.
Yeah. When we got there, it didn't get better. Hey guys, if you want to go on vacation with me, because you're curious about the experience, it is a lot. It's a lot.
The next commercial break, we'll have a poll, and you can enter to win a flight with G.
Yeah, I'm just going to show up to the airport. I'm not leaving with you. I'm just going to drink with you at the airport bar.
If you want to board at the absolute last second, I got you.
I got you. And it's going to be the best onboarding experience ever. But we had a full conversation, because we don't argue as a group. I don't think any of us argue. We have a full grown conversation. It was like, we love that I didn't have to wait in line.
Yeah, we all agreed to that.
Yeah. I didn't
It
have
was
to.
just like the stress of
Yeah.
worrying.
Just air travel in general.
Yeah. But what's the worst case that would have happened? I go an hour later.
Was this pre-COVID?
This was 7 months ago.
Oh, so recently. Okay.
This was like maybe 7 months ago. It was like whatever October was. I don't know. I don't know math. I'm Hispanic. Listen, it's unnecessary. I apologize, guys.
Not touching that one. Not touching that one.
I can make that joke. All that being said, like, it was one of the funnest, best vacations ever. And we were in Louisville, Kentucky. So for anyone who's like, oh my God, what does it have to do with bourbon? We were there. Okay.
For the bourbon.
For the bourbon.
Baseball bats, right?
Yeah. Well, we actually walked by the Louisville Slugger thing more than once, but we were way too drunk to want to stop and watch baseball bats be made. I made it a point to make sure that all of us were intoxicated from beginning to end, and I drove everybody around at some point.
It sounds like job well done.
It was an excellent vacation.
See, have
For
more vacations
sure.
with me, Amelia.
It was a great vacation.
I am fun because I am chaos.
I'm a fucking hoot.
I'm chaos. If you tell me then there's no rules about time constrictions, we are drinking at 4. like we're doing good.
Literally rolling up to the gate. Hey guys, you need a drink?
Bro, I took a drink in the car before I hopped out to get in the airport. It's like, I love you. My mom dropped it off. Like, I love you. Just shot to the face. She's like, what are you doing?
That was the snort. I thought we weren't doing that.
Yeah, that's...
I apologize, guys. 208. I'm going to write that down. No, but I straight up, like, we hopped out the vehicle and I was just like, shots. And my mom stares at me. She's like, what the fuck? You still don't like flying? I was like, yeah, Xanax. She's like, what's wrong?
I could be a pilot now. No problem.
Yeah.
Goodness.
2 shots of fucking whiskey and a Xanax. I'll fly this bitch. Like,
It was definitely fun, but the highlight was my other half running up. I lost him. And your fiance saying, they'll run it off.
it was great. It at the end, I love that that's what her solution was. They told me that my fiance said that. I was like, that's fair. I'm not mad at that.
I mean, she wasn't looking for you.
Yeah,
If he makes it, he makes it.
If he makes it, he makes it. She knows I'm responsible
We
enough
would
that
have been on vacation regardless.
yeah.
Whether or not you guys made it.
You get
it
a
would have
message
been
from
fine.
me. Hey, I've been at the bar. I missed the flight. We'll be there in an hour or so. Like, what? Still drinking. It's like, this is fucking amazing. But the truth.
Fun flight stories, though.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot it.
This might be bonus content.
There's all bonus content.
So, yeah. I'm flying back from a golf trip in Tennessee.
Ooh.
I'm sitting at the Knoxville Regional Airport. Mm-hmm. All of 12 gates. Tiny little airport. In Knoxville, Tennessee. Coming back. My buddy's flight was like 2 hours before mine. So we got there super early. Mm-hmm. Found there's it's either a Chili's or an Applebee's in the Knoxville airport. In the airport. Which is basically just a bar with like 3 tables. That's it. We're like, all right, well, whatever. We'll go early because we got to check the golf bags and all that stuff. Yeah. So we check in. We're like, fuck it. Let's go to Chili's, Applebee's, whatever it was. And we're sitting there at the bar. His flight's like, yo, I gotta take off. We had a couple beers, and he's like, I gotta go. See ya. It's like, all right, see ya. Because he was going to Orlando. I was going to Vermont. So like, all right, mine's a couple hours later. It's like, whatever. I'll just sit here and have a couple beers. I'm sitting here drinking beers. Guy sits next to me. Just start chatting him up. He's like, oh, yeah, I do some acting stuff here and there. I'm like, oh, cool, been anything? No, it's mostly small, like, indie film type stuff. Like, all right, cool. But he looks familiar.
Who is he?
And I'm like, huh. So I just keep shooting the shit. I'm a super cool guy. Just easy conversator, just talking, having some beers. Probably like 4 or 5 beers deep just with this guy now. After the 4 or 5 that I have with my buddy. And he goes to leave. I'm like, hey, man, you know, super good talking to you. I never asked him who he was. And I was like, I got to ask. Who the hell are you? I'm like, you look familiar. What's going on? And he hands me his card and he walks away. It's fucking Bill Murray's brother. There's like 3 or 4 of them.
There's a bunch of Murrays walking around?
There's like 3 or 4 Bill Murray's brothers. There's like 2 or 3 of them.
So he looks just like him?
Yep.
Oh, that's scary.
Yep.
Oh, that's scary.
Just like him. Oh, if it was Bill Murray, I would have known. Space Jam? Come on.
Yeah.
I would have known. I would have known Bill Murray.
No.
Ghostbusters.
No,
What do you want?
stop. You started with Space Jam. Of all the things Bill Murray's been in, you started with Space Jam?
Dude, if he had a fucking umbrella hat on, are you kidding me?
Hold on.
You wouldn't recognize Bill Murray?
I would have understood him and recognized him before Space Jam. Because it's Bill Murray.
But it was his brother, so I didn't recognize him. But yeah, no shit.
I feel like this is like a side point, but an airport beer is a really good beer,
Oh my God.
right?
Are you sure you shouldn't be on the show more often?
I had
What?
Are you sure you shouldn't be on the show more often?
Why?
Because shower beers, airport beers,
Oh,
I feel
do
like
love a shower beer.
I'm saying like there's a lot
And
of
shower
an
beers
airport
are
beer.
elite.
at an airport beer. There's
Right.
a lot of alcohol. Are you sure this I feel
We can
like
rank beers right now.
We're not doing beers. This is the wrong show for that.
Oh, sorry.
I do like bourbon, and I mean, you gave us whiskey. Just saying.
I gave you bourbon after.
There's some
You did.
bananas in my beer.
I put bananas in your beer? No, in your bourbon. Oh my God, I can't stand you. So airports are a lawless place. Like how many times like I've seen like the random shit in the airport, people like fucking the weirdest thing I always find about airports is like people have to rush to their gate to know it exists and then go have breakfast.
Hi.
Do you have to find the fucking gate?
I have to make sure it's physically there.
Yeah, same.
Then I can go
Oh my goodness.
take a piss,
Yep.
grab some food, get a beer,
same.
whatever.
You know it's listed, right?
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
I need
Okay,
to know where I'm going.
Because 9 out of 10 times, once I see that gate, I go do whatever I want to do, and I get a text or app update. Oh, gate change, gate change, gate change. Like, fuck
Then
yeah.
why even bother seeing it the first time?
I feel like 9 times out of 10 is a little bit much.
Yeah, especially at MCO. Yeah, I give
True.
them way too much credit.
So when I was in Vermont, it happened a lot.
Okay.
Especially because we had to do connecting flights. So I spent a lot of time in Philly, spent a lot of time in JFK, spent a lot of time in Baltimore. Like, I was all over the place.
Baltimore, gross.
Yeah, they had a lot of connecting flights go through there.
All I'm saying is,
Baltimore sucks, by the way.
yeah,
That airport's
Philly's
a
not
shithole.
bad.
Philly's okay.
What,
Great beer in
I
Philly.
forgot what airport I was.
Great,
Great beer in Philly airport.
Great airport beer at Philly.
Shout out PHL.
Hey guys, welcome to the beer in the bullshit podcast. These motherfuckers. But Bill Murray's brother in the airport's wild and weird.
Yeah.
I have no weird. Well, you know what? In fairness, now that we've talked a lot about how high and drunk I am on flights, I don't know if I have any weird flight stories because they all seem fine to me. And then I get like recaps and like, did you know you did this? Nope. Have not one fucking clue.
I mean, you definitely got stopped by security.
Oh yeah, that was unnecessary.
You were being sneaky.
I knew what I was doing. It's still unnecessary. No, hey, no more than 3 ounces. I brought a whole flask of bourbon.
He did. It was, what was it? It was like a fancy big, it wasn't a flask.
That metal decanter behind
it's a
the birthday.
decanter. A flask
All right,
leads
all right, cool.
like a different perception.
She's right. I brought a full ass decanter full of Elijah Craig toasted. I was like, we didn't drink this. I want to bring it with me. I'm not going to drink that
I
much
was
at the
like, how'd you
airport.
get it through security?
He didn't.
I didn't. They
Okay.
sent me to the back and said, you have to pour this out. And I was like, so I'm offering shots to people in line and I'm drinking. I was like, hey, you want a shot of Elijah Craig toasted? They're like, I guess. I was like, bet. I'm handing shots to a
And
stranger.
we waited forever.
We were 4 hours early.
Were we?
Yeah, because we stopped and got the Capri Sun drinks.
But 4 hours early?
Yeah, we got there super early because we had to turn in the car, or we wouldn't have. Well, 3, like maybe 2.5,
Okay.
because we had to turn in the car, or not.
That's
We would have
right,
gotten
that's right.
charged for a full day. You have to turn in by 12, but our flight leaves at like 4.
Right.
Gotcha.
So like we were there hella early.
Sounds like airport drinking.
Yeah, so I'm airport drinking in the line. The security
And
off.
we're waiting for him on the other side. They like took him back with security officers. We're like, I don't know. Is he getting like a, I I don't know. Is there a cabbie search
You
happening?
get a
Is
pat
he
down? What's
okay?
going on?
First of all, we're in Kentucky. You should be understanding that I'm bringing bourbon with me. I don't know why we're having this conversation, sir. You know why I came here.
But it was not a flask. It was a decanter.
It was a full-ass decanter. I didn't come here for the baseball bat, sir. Which you wouldn't have allowed on the plane anyway. Let me get the whiskey through. What do you think this is? There's no bomb in this, Elijah Craig. Like, let me have this. I'll pour some for you. He's like, no. I didn't do that because I would have gotten arrested, but I thought about it. Like, I thought about, should I offer this man a drink first?
One more Xanax and I'd have done it.
Maybe half. Like, it was a problem. Flying to Kentucky is a whole different thing, though. Like, that whole town and area and everything compared to like MCO, bigger cities. This is a small town feel. We drove through a lot of Kentucky and we were like, this is beautiful.
It was really pretty.
And there were moments where I was like, there's a bunch of cows, there's a bunch of horses, all this. And we like were vibing out. And I realized at some point that like I have never lived in a country. So I don't know these things. So to me, this is gorgeous.
You know, like driving at night and you're like, there's no lights. We're like, yeah, most of the country doesn't have street lights everywhere.
Yep.
That is the weirdest fucking thing for me. Like driving and there's like just pitch dark. I'm like, this is like a horror movie. And people are like, this is normal. Excuse me?
Everyday life.
That was a good trip. I would do that again.
We are doing that again. Content. And it's a tax write-off. But transferable skills.
Bourbon and bullshit goes abroad.
Transferable or transferable?
At this point, I don't care. Listen, transferable.
All right.
Transferable skills.
Okay,
Amelia,
back to business.
Back to the actual question I asked about 80 minutes ago. Not a joke. All this bonus content is so great. Anyone who's listening, if you're upset about this, fuck you.
Unsubscribe.
No.
Uncheck the bell.
Send it to your friends with a higher quality of thought. Jackass. Amelia, what transferable skills? What did something in your personal life that you realized afterwards was something you gained from retail? Early, you alluded to it when you talked about how easily it is to speak to people from different cultures, backgrounds, everything. But what have you like? Wow, this is fucking retail trauma.
This is just so simple, but just being able to have a conversation with anybody, any level. Mm-hmm. I can talk to a CEO, I can talk to a cashier, I can talk to absolutely anybody. Mm-hmm. I also would say, from like a more execution standpoint, efficiency, being able to prioritize, being able to look at a 100-piece list and say, this is what needs to be done first, and this is what makes the most sense.
Prioritization.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I don't think that I find quite frequently that is not something that comes naturally to people, and that is not something that most people just are able to do and identify and just execute.
I agree with you. I think people are used to, if you put a 1 in front of it, that's their number one priority.
Yeah.
When you put A in front of it, that's a priority. Mm-hmm. But if I handed you a list with nothing notating what's important, it would be like, yeah. And spend half the day not fucking understanding what's needed to be done.
That's huge, right?
Yeah. It is so right. I'm like, hey man, where are you at this list? Why are you humming? What close your mouth. What are you doing? Fuck is happening here?
That's an easily transferable skill set, but I think the most important is being able to communicate.
People interaction.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you personally, and I know that very often you're very empathetic, and there are times that like you.
No, I'm not.
Don't you fucking tell on me.
Don't you goddamn tell me I'm a good person. God damn it. Guys, stay tuned. She's going to record our intro next. But like, is there a part of you that feels, because of our nature of our industry and our roles, do you feel like you naturally want to understand people at their core because either it connects closer or something? Like I feel like that's no, it's just not. It's
I'm
all
shaking
shallow.
my head no. So I don't think that the background naturally transfers to being empathetic or being able to, or even wanting to do that.
Okay.
I don't think that is from
Retail.
the retail background. I think that's just
You.
maybe something that we do as humans.
But that's from being successful in our roles, our previous roles too.
So did we become successful in our roles
successful.
because we were empathetic
I
and
mean,
naturally?
were we successful? Walked away with FU money, severance.
Got told fuck off.
I told them, hey, y'all got 2 choices. I gotta go.
I mean, success. I don't know. Like, what is the measure?
Define success.
So here I'm going to be an advocate for everyone at the table. That was not your move. You were the circumstances around you.
What?
You couldn't control the circumstances around you.
Okay.
Company made some bad moves. Fuck them. You said, fuck you, I'm out. Amelia said, fuck you, I'm out. You were nowhere indicated as someone who was going to be on the outs. And I was being sent to corporate a week later, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. And they're like, but we have all these opportunities.
How I am on flights. I can't do
They're
this.
like, that was a break. That was a break point. If I could have taken a train there, I might have still been. You don't want drunk me representing you in Chicago. Like, that's a bad look, or really good. Moving on. But all of us at the table, I don't think that was a victim of circumstances, or you had a bad.
No qualms.
Yeah, no qualms.
I'd do it again.
Do it again. And I think, I wonder if we were successful then, because of Josh's point, are we more successful? Were we that successful in our roles because of that natural empathy?
I don't really know.
I don't know if it was an empathy thing, though. It was just an ability to understand people.
Yeah, but
is that
empathy?
To a degree, but is that fully? Are we talking about the same thing?
Manipulation.
Well, I mean, if you're a psychopath.
Psychopath.
And we circle back.
Psychopath. All right, guys, stay tuned to Psychopaths.
4 hours later, it came full circle.
So I don't know if it is the industry or the role that makes you more empathetic. I don't
think it was either. I think it was our desire to be successful and move up and get better. That we were like,
break that down for me.
I got to understand people better to get them to do stuff better for me.
So learn skill.
Can move up.
But also, how many people do we work with that did not have empathy?
Right. And still moved up further.
Correct. So
it was fear mongering.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's never how I led.
No.
That's not how you led. That's not how you led.
No. But I built much more loyalty in that those fear mongers have actually hit me up more than once and be like, hey, I respect everything you did. Hey, you want to come back? Nah, I'm good.
Same.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm
got
Gucci.
a few job offers this past week.
Oh, now I'm good. They're like, what?
Oh, you going back? Are we going to have another episode of Life Back in Retail?
Nah, not for me. No. You better go on a different podcast. I'm just my business.
No.
I think that that's part of just maybe like a individual thing.
Just a human characteristic.
Hold on. Is then that circle back to is then that why we all got along? Naturally, we were good human beings who cared about people that wanted to get better and do things and invest in people who mattered to us. But we're just good people, and then we all vibe with good people.
I mean, I don't.
Not to oversimplify it, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're great people.
No,
like, I hope so. I try to be, but I don't know.
No, look.
I don't want to be a piece of shit, but I do drink Bush Light.
Look, yeah, that makes you a shitty person. That's why you're not fucking up there. You're
Line and Kugel Summer Shandy. It'll change your life. That is the shower beer.
Let's be clear. Bush Light, shower beers. I'm pointing at people. Josh, Bush Light, Amelia, shower beers, and myself, fucking day drinking at the airport at 4 a.m.
Is that day drinking though? It's still dark.
It's still day.
There's no day. There's
Does
no
it say
night.
AM?
There's no AM, PM.
You exist in a vortex.
It's
so
just
we did,
airport time.
Kind of like dance around this, but I had a coat that I was wearing because it was colder where we were going.
This is great.
And I have not worn that coat since we went on vacation, and I wore it last week because the weather was a little bit colder. And I came over to here, and I just happened to reach in my pocket, and I pulled out a little empty mini apothecary bottle.
And she's like, hey, do you want this back? I was like, I could refill it for you. She's like, no, don't do that. I was like,
not till the next flight.
Yeah, why did I say that? That was a bad decision.
You said no, and I'm like, I have top tier alcohol, and I'm way too drunk
to Winter Night's Dram.
Yeah, but
my friend gave me that stuff for Christmas, so I'm good.
What a gift!
Yeah, it was a fantastic gift.
Great gift.
It was a great gift.
Fantastic.
It wasn't just for me though; it was for us.
My point, what I was trying to get at is, I think that there's a certain it's not an ego thing. It's not, hey, I want to be a good person, so I want to be acknowledged for it. I think that you naturally, like you said, or much earlier, You're attracted to people who you want to keep in that circle. You identify that person's a good human being and looking out for the peers and people around them. And it sucks that it almost feels dirty to acknowledge that you are a good person, because then it feels dirty. It feels like you're one of those people who are shouting from the like building tops, like, I'm great.
Look at me.
Yeah, look at me. And it's not what I'm trying to do at all. I think that I want to be around people that I want to emulate and be like. You surround yourself with the people you want to be like. Period. I want to be around good human beings because I like being a good human being. Not because a book tells me I'll go to hell if I'm not. Not because society tells me if I'm a shitty person I'm not. I'm not going to get anywhere. And I know that if I'm shittier, I'll probably move up faster through my life. I'd rather not. I'd rather not go to bed knowing that I had to sacrifice other people or step on someone's toes or fucking push through or fucking not be the right person for the job, but I was the loudest person in the room to move up. So I try to surround myself with good human beings. And I think that natural empathy from whatever backgrounds we came from identified who's a good person and stuck with that. I think it's tough for us to want to openly acknowledge that. And I'm going to be the dick that says it. Like I'm saying in general, like, because that natural side of us doesn't want to be the fucking front of the class.
Yeah.
I'm good with supporting the team. I'd rather everyone win as opposed to me winning. If I don't have to win, but 60% of my team wins, I'm happy with that. We're not the people who want to run around in the front and be like, I'm the shit. This is awesome. I'm the best. What? Amelia? I joke a lot, but I'm not that person.
No, I agree with you. I think that, yes, truly, like, a genuine care for the people around us and wanting to do right by our teams and wanting our teams to be successful is important. But I also think that it is maybe a little bit disingenuous to not say, like, everyone at this table, we're ambitious.
Oh, yeah.
We've worked towards something. We busted our asses.
But we won't step on
somewhere.
But we won't step on people we care about to get there.
Absolutely not.
And that's probably impeded our growth.
Absolutely not. Which is, probably why, like, F you money, severance.
I was like, I got better options. I gotta go. Yeah. Hey, I got a better option. I gotta go. It's a pay cut. Still better than the situation. I gotta go.
I also think that that's something, like, that's kind of something maybe important for anybody who's thinking about transitioning or thinking about maybe they want to do something else, is to really kind of just evaluate what is the opportunity cost. So we can all agree that we were making very nice bonuses. Can we agree to that?
Oh, yes.
Can we agree to, when we were coming up, the compensation for the role
was fantastic.
Nice.
Vastly different.
It was vastly different from what people are getting right now for those same roles.
100%.
But that being said, the opportunity cost of how many holidays are you going to miss? Mm-hmm. How many times did you have a family event that you got called away from and had to go in and handle something? How many vacations were you on where you got a text message or a call and it was up to you to put a fire out that really was not a fire? And maybe you didn't even know it wasn't a fire until you were outside of it and you were like, are you serious? Like,
or did you even take a vacation?
Right. How many times did you come back early? Yeah. I mean, I've had vacations cut short because something important happened.
I've had lunches cut short. I've had everything cut short.
Right. So when you think about the compensation and, what you can really make happen, everybody's situation, of course, is different, but the opportunity cost is a lot. So maybe you're not making as much money, but what about time? Because life's short. Balance. Life is so short. Yes. How much time did we waste? How much time did we waste?
There are so many moments that I think I'm the biggest. Everyone knows this about me. This is no secret. I hated Christmas for the longest time.
The Grinch.
I'm the biggest Grinch. I am the biggest person. I fucking Krampus. I'm fucking around with a sack. Like, I'm gonna fucking beat this child. Like, no, because that's what Krampus did, not me. I don't do that. Don't call.
Just for clarity.
Just for clarity. I don't need someone calling
agent,
somebody.
If you're listening.
Greg, FBI agent, we're cool, bro. I don't hit kids. Listen, but to your point, like, I would be the guy, I volunteer to work Christmas because because I understand that person has a family, she has kids, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'll work Christmas as a leader. I'll work Christmas. In 23 years of, like, seeing people at their absolute worst, absolute fucking worst, I'm like, I hate Christmas.
Okay. Yes.
Yes.
But also, I do think like time gives you a little bit more perspective. And for me personally, looking back, there were a lot of things I look back on and I'm like, oh, I missed that thing, or I might feel or might be a little bit more, like a little bit more skewed to feel resentful about it. But I made decisions. So
that part.
I said, I'll work the holiday so that you don't have to.
Yeah.
I'll do
100%.
that thing so that you
Yeah.
don't have to. And at the end of the day, like I allowed things to get in the way of my real life. And again, like
The empathetic side, do you think led into that?
some of it, but also ambition. And let's circle back. Let's be honest. It was fun for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, there
Yeah.
was a time where it was like, okay, like 4:00 in the morning, like, you know what? You're going to be there at 4. I'm going to be at 3:30 and I'm going to kick your ass and I'm going to be done before you are. And we're going to talk about it later. And then what? You go home and you're exhausted and you pass out and you miss out on the family dinner or the friends event. And probably just having done it for 13 years and 18 years and 23 years gives you a little bit more perspective, and maybe you value different things as you get older because we're fucking old now.
Yeah. Everything hurts, guys. Everything hurts.
But
I drink because it hurts.
the opportunity cost also is a lot. Like I can't be mad at having worked all those holidays because I made that decision.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I didn't see in it for myself. And I will say that there's a generation that is younger than us that they say work-life balance. That's not fair. I'm not doing that. And there was a lot of years that I didn't even know you were allowed to say that.
Yeah, you couldn't say no.
You could not say that.
I'm going to tell you quietly, obviously in a podcast, I'm proud of them. There's a part of me is like, good for you. But that sucks because you still have to work.
Yeah.
But good for you.
It's really tough employing you.
It's a balance because there were so many times, I know every single person here at some point was taken advantage of. At some point, somebody was like, you have to be here. And we were like, oh my goodness, we have to be there.
About 4 months ago.
Right. So a huge amount of respect for the people now that say like, I don't have to be there. Yeah. It's not brain surgery.
5 o'clock. Bye.
See ya. What happens right now is not going to be make or break for the company. It's not going to be make or break for me.
That issue is going to be there tomorrow.
Or I can take care of it tomorrow. But there's a balance because there's also something to be said for work ethic. And there's also something to be said for being somebody who's, hey, I'm all in. I'm going to make this happen. But I do wish that I had said no more.
Oh, yeah.
This is weird. What I'm about to say is weird. Wish that I had said yes more.
Really?
And not for those like, hey, there was moments where I think I was comfortable. Where like, hey, this is easy for me. I don't need to take any risks. I'm fine. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want on the side. I'm doing all this extra stuff. At the previous podcast, I did all these extra things. So I didn't take as many risks. Hell, to be fully transparent, I should have been in Vermont up with you. And there are moments I'm just like, nah, I'll wait. And not because of any regret or anything like that, but I would have had a severance too. I left on my own accord and not as much money in the bank account. But there are moments I feel like I became almost I felt a loyalty to finishing the process. So I felt like, hey, I did this. And you know how people get moved up and you're halfway through something. And I felt like I had a completionist in me. There was like, hey, no, I can't do that. I have to see what I'm doing through right now. Even though there were great opportunities and all this stuff that would have advanced me super fast, I have to see this through because I feel like if I don't, I'm not who I think I am. And it was that work ethic I have to do this because that's my name attached to that. Mm-hmm. And even though I don't necessarily hear it, I know in my head, I never finished that. And it's going to fucking haunt me.
Just eat at you.
Eat at me. And I should have said, fuck y'all, and done the scary thing. Done the fucking fuck you. I don't need to owe you this. So to your point of, I wish I said no more. There are moments, yes, I wish I said no more. I was like, hey, I'm not going to fucking do that. I'm not going to show up on a Friday at 3 a.m. in the morning because you can't get coverage. Like, it's not my responsibility. At that point, I wasn't in those roles. Like, I was like, I'm not fucking doing that. But, you know, to your point, we are hungry. We're moving up. We're like, hey, there's an ambition there. I want to move up. I'm agreeing to shit that isn't going to impact my career.
But you don't know that at the time.
Exactly.
And of course, like, hindsight is 20/20.
Exactly. Of course, yeah.
I would also say, like, I believe, Josh, if I'm not mistaken, you were fucking around drinking till 4 a.m.
It was great.
But
you should have been there.
we were moving up very quickly. We were going through, we were climbing rungs very fast. We were going to higher profile locations. We were
For
going
clarity, I wasn't not drinking.
well,
Just not that.
not
Hard.
to the point that you.
Not until you met me.
I will correct myself. I was climbing up very quickly.
She was not drinking till 4 in the morning.
I was not.
We were in separate avenues.
I would also say
When I had them 4 to midnight shifts, game on.
no way. No way.
Really?
No, I would go in. I think the worst would be just do like, you know, downtown, whatever, and then being in the morning. I guess I did, because then 6 a.m. is pretty early.
I'm starting to feel
open when you were out all night.
Guys, welcome to Bourbon and Realizations. Self-actualizations.
Hindsight's 20/20.
This is very retrospect.
Maybe I was drunk at 4 in the morning.
I was. Oh my.
Maybe I was a piece of shit like Arthur.
Listen, nobody was a piece of shit like Arthur.
Look, listen, I was front runner, and somehow every store was like, I love having Arthur here. I was like, I don't know why.
Because you didn't do anything. You didn't make anyone do anything.
I physically did a lot, but I wouldn't be there sober. I was like, listen, guys. Oh, God. Are you okay? No, I'm not.
I'm going to go unload a truck and sweat the booze out.
Yeah. Fucking, he unloaded a 900-piece truck by himself. I'm still drunk. I don't feel it.
I don't know. So you say that you wish that you said yes more.
Only because I feel like I held myself
That was towards
back.
the end, though.
Right.
No,
that
that was
during your entire career.
No, not so. There was a big point in my career that everyone was like, "Hey, man, I think you're capable of more." I was like, "No, I'm good." That's what I'm talking about. Because I was fucking around. To Amelia's point, like I was fucking around for a very long time.
Yeah.
And there were managers that saw me like, "Hey, I see potential in you." I was like, "I don't wanna." So my story is a little bit different. I was the unrealized potential, and I was just like, "No, I'm having fun. I don't really want to do any of this." They're like, "Hey, well, what's your future?" I don't know. I don't want kids or a wife or anything right now, so I don't give a shit about my future. I just want to get drunk and have fun. Now I'm living right now because I've a good amount. For anyone who's never listened to the show, a good amount of my quote unquote childhood was spent being an adult because I had to take care of a lot of responsibility for my mom, my sister, everyone around me. So when I finally have money to fuck around and have fun,
Just cut loose.
I'm living my childhood as an adult, and there's no repercussions for my actions because I'm making a good. To Amelia's point earlier, we're making a fuck ton of money. I came down here from a higher cost of living state, so I'm making more money than I need to.
Yeah, keep rubbing that in.
Yeah, no, I need you to know. And then at some point I'm working overnight, so like, yeah, but you could have every Friday and Saturday off. I was like, yeah, I done fucked up. I ain't sleeping at night anyway. This is great. This is fantastic for me. So like a good amount of my existence was not existence, but my career from Florida, a good amount of that section was I refused to move up because it was fun. So I said no to every opportunity to like, hey, you want no, I'm good. Hey, are you interested in, no, I'm good.
I don't have that regret.
I don't. I wish I had walked away sooner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. I think that when I finally left, I was burnt out. I was done. I was
How the
tired.
fuck did I stay here as long as I did?
Yeah.
I was becoming, like you said, you would talk to me, and I wasn't myself.
Yeah, when I spoke to you multiple times, I was like, yo, son. I remember telling my significant other, I was like, hey, it's not good right now. Like, at least the vibe I'm getting. And she's like, really? I was like, yeah, I don't know if it's in my head, but she's not seeming, maybe it's just a stressful week.
It was a lot of stressful weeks, and I just wasn't myself.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it was impacting my life, and I'm lucky because I'm with somebody that is very honest with me and will hold me accountable. And you're smiling because you know this to be true.
Oh, yeah.
But that's exactly what I need. My partner is very much supportive of anything that I do, always. And it got to a point where I was just, every day I was coming home. Like, there were days where I would come home and at 7:30 at night, I would finally get home. I'd be at work from 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, come home 7:30 at night, and just be like, I don't know what we're doing for dinner. I'm just going to bed. Like, I just can't. Like, I'm just so burnt out. And I would, like, of course, like, talk to him about my frustrations and what's going on, and and at some point, and I might ask you to cut this out, I don't know, but
make a note, text me this.
At some point we were talking, and I was, again, like, just the same thing, my same frustrations, because they didn't go away. It wasn't, it didn't
every day
change.
was the same fucking thing. Yeah.
Right. So I'm talking about the same thing, and he looked at me and he said, for the very first time, after hundreds and hundreds of times of having this conversation, he's like, I don't want to hear it. And I looked at him and I'm like, what? And it was, like, shocking, because of course he's never talked to me like this before, and he's always been very supportive. And he's like, you're talking about the same things, and you're creating a situation where you're a victim. You're not a victim. You can make a decision. You are choosing to continue to do this. So what do you want to do about it? Because this is not who you are. I was pissed. I was
Can you give me that barrel proof, because this is getting heavy? Josh, go get that bottle.
Sorry.
It's the green one.
I might need you to cut this out.
I made a note. You had 8 minutes before.
Did I tell you about this before?
No.
Never.
That's why I made a note till 8 minutes from now.
Oh my goodness.
How are you going to drag a chair? It's a green tube. Each other next to the top. Keep going, right? One more. 2 more. Yeah, that one. Give me that shit. It's going to be a heavy one. Go ahead. Keep going.
I don't know where I left off. I'm so distracted.
So you said that he told you, like, you're making these choices and you were pissed.
Oh, I was livid. I was like, how? We didn't fight, we didn't fight at all, but I was just, oh my goodness. I was, like, through the roof angry. And I was like, we have a trail, like, where we live. And I went on the trail and I went for like an hour, and I came back and I was like, okay, like, I made a decision. I'm like, okay, what's your decision? I'm like, I'm putting in my notice. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to take some time. I'm going to figure it out. And then I'll start applying for other jobs. I'm done. I'm not doing it. That's my decision. And he looked at me. He's like, finally. Good.
Good for you.
Do that tomorrow.
TikTok.
And I did.
Yeah, man.
You never knew about that?
No, I did not know.
Oh, I was so mad.
Oh,
I was so mad.
Oh, you should be not mad.
Were you mad at that, or were you mad at yourself?
I was mad at myself because he was 100% right. 100%. And I don't think that if we had not had that conversation, I might not have had that moment of just
might still be there.
Right. Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
I'm
the
playing the
audacity.
victim. How dare you? And he was right. Like, I had the full control. I had the ability to walk away, and I just wasn't.
Guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break because
oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's
no,
such a downer.
No, it's not a downer at all. This is a fucking fantastic point.
I swear, he's fantastic.
No, none of this.
If this doesn't bring retail to life, I don't know what does.
Amelia, I need you to focus. And this is a very real moment. This is fantastic because it really signifies what we go through and what eventually has to happen to us. Because there's so long that you could be just ingrained that this is the expectation. Hell, we saw it as fun to work above our means, and we just spoke about it for like 20 minutes. Like, hey, I'm going to show up at the butt crack of dawn to flip an aisle that no one cares about other than the company standards.
Yep.
And someone had to tell you, hey, someone who cares about you deeply and honestly says, hey, this is your own fucking fault. Like, real talk.
I don't know if
that's what eventually he said.
How would that go if you told your fiance that?
Not well. So we're going to go ahead and take a real quick commercial break from our actual sponsors, Midnight Fables Cabaret. We'll be right back, guys.
Sponsor of Bourbon and Bullshit, Big Bang Boom Collective is Orlando's burlesque and cabaret entertainment group, comprised of Midnight Fables Cabaret, Big Bang Boom Cabaret, and Foxy's Den. Follow us on Instagram at Big Bang Boom Collective. Or join our VIP email list for info on upcoming shows by visiting www.bigbangboomcollective.com.
All right, guys, and we are
It's like, I'm going to edit. I'm done with you
back.
all.
No, I'm not done with all of you, but I want to make, hey, this is recorded currently. No, hey, guys, so we are back. Fuck me, right? This is why we're getting saucy. Retail fucking does
Stop
that to you.
saying saucy.
Oh, I apparently can't say
It's weird.
Do it in your sensual voice.
Hey guys, so we're back, and we're getting saucy. God damn it, that's comical. Listen. So we're back. Needless to say, we're doing this as a one shot. I'll edit some stuff. You guys figure it out. It's fine.
Maybe we won't though.
I don't know.
Maybe we
You're,
don't.
you're
This-
talking very fast and very low.
The beauty of sound engineering after is that it'll make everything sound crystal clear.
That was also game show.
Hey everyone, welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit, where you can win prizes. And no. So during the break, we had that moment of camaraderie where in retail we all escaped and we wanted to cheers to it. So I went ahead and pulled a bottle out that Amelia and I enjoyed thoroughly. And Mr. Vermont's shower beer Busch Light said, "What is this?" No, he didn't say that. So
Why is it spicy?
why is it spicy? That was really fucking raspy.
Maybe that should be your intro voice.
Why is this spicy? Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit. This bottle is E.H. Taylor Jr. barrel proof. So, for anyone who does not know, this typically is comes out once in a while, once every 10 years, once in a lifetime. You're not going to find this, other than I happen to know people who know people who know people. And Josh made a face, but my favorite part is that Amelia said, "This is fucking delicious." So we're going to start with her. Amelia, what do you think the proof on this bottle is?
I didn't know there was going to be a quiz.
I know. This is pop quiz. This is, you gotta be
80,
prepared.
90.
90 proof?
I don't know.
All right. So it is hotter than normal, but Josh doesn't care. He thinks it's all fucking. What do you think?
120 proof.
Jesus, you're damn near right. Fucking. So barrel proof is uncut and unfiltered at more than 125 proof.
I have to drive home. What are you doing?
I didn't tell you to chug it. What? How is it gone?
I didn't chug it. I sipped it
This sounds
like a lady. Damn it.
When people ask for a soundbite, that's gonna be what I sipped it like a lady. Damn it! Like, this is gonna be the best soundbite.
You're welcome.
I lied.
Trademark.
I lied. So the typical proof is 125 proof. This is 131.1.
Jesus Christ.
So
It is delicious. It does not taste like 131 proof.
I fucking love it, and this says a lot about the fact that I'm a drinker. I'm a drinker. I'm what you would call a semi-professional drinker. Barrel proof whiskey is going to be exactly what it sounds like. It's going to be damn near fresh out the barrel, uncut, unfiltered. It's not going to be as fucking distilled as everything else. And it's going to be always a higher in proof. We've tried that with the Elijah Craig barrel proof before, and they're always hotter. The thing I do like about things like this and flavors like this is going to be a lot more to the notes. It's not going to be as distilled. It's not going to be as diluted, and you get to enjoy it. I at least enjoy it, and we're going to go ahead and, myself and Amelia enjoy it. We're going to go ahead into the odd man out, and Joshua, in 3 words, only 3. How would you describe that drink?
It's hot.
That's 2.
Apostrophe. It is hot.
Oh, thank you.
Just not my cup of tea.
That's fine, man.
I can appreciate it. I mean, you guys are the bourbon heads, not me.
We talked about the Kentucky hug that you got from it. It doesn't, for at least for myself and Amelia, we don't. I'm not gonna speak for you. I don't feel like this tastes gross. I feel like there's heat behind it.
I feel like this tastes gross.
I think that it is delicious.
I think it's delicious.
I also being singled out. For anyone listening, you don't see me after this
There's
podcast.
a lot of judgy stares happening.
There's
Right?
not one judge. I'm wondering why he keeps drinking it. That's why he drinks it and takes some water. I was like, God damn it.
It's just,
I told you I'm
it's
not
just
gonna not drink it.
manners at that point.
Yeah, I got 1 sip left.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
So like I'm a little bit surprised by the notes that they have here.
Tell us.
Chocolate and molasses.
Maybe molasses. Maybe.
Molasses, my thought was like caramel.
Yeah, there's a sweetness at the end of
I
it.
don't get chocolate at all.
I love that Josh was like, sweetness. He made the fucking most grimace. Like, you guys are fucking wild. He's looking at his watch like, I gotta get out of here. These guys are fucking crazy. You don't taste any of that?
No, it's just hot water. Just
Hot water.
bam.
Do you like the bullet more?
Yeah,
Really?
sadly, yeah.
Wow. You ended up liking the first time we had you on the show, you ended up liking the Midwinter Night's Dram when I played the Fireside.
You did
Yes.
Winter Night.
Yep.
Midwinter Night's Dram. Not
Way
this
down
year's. Not this year's. Last year's. We've had that one before.
Okay, it's just my favorite.
Yeah. We never did this year's with him.
I mean, not my favorite.
But when you played the fire,
When you play the fire, yeah.
which is really weird.
I mean, if you played an explosion when I drank this, maybe.
What in the Michael Bay is going on with your
What
friend?
do you mean played the fire?
So I played
We played
Crackling
the
Fireside.
Crackling Fire.
So-
Oh, why don't we have that now?
I could do that. You guys talk amongst yourselves. So the next question.
What? We don't get ambiance?
I had ambiance. You didn't like it. Hold on.
You said that right now.
And everyone twitched.
You yelled at me for that ambiance.
I don't think I yelled at you.
Oh,
I
there
think
was.
I said, "What are you doing with this intro?"
Oh, that was great. You've said that from every intro. So the E.H. Taylor Brown proof was in celebration of us all getting out. So for anyone who is thinking about eventually leaving, you probably should get the fuck out. But we did have some more questions. Let me see if I can find that Fireside for you. Hold on. Oh, no, not playing. Oh,
This was really nice.
I liked it. Hold on. No? Just sounds like rustling paper.
I mean, I'll give it another shot.
Go ahead, do that. Still not good? All right, well, this will make the director's cut. So we had a couple more questions for everyone here. So I think this one's funny, at least for me. So I want to share it. But the joke is pizza party. What was a standout celebration or prize that you received by a previous employer? Good or bad? That was like, what the fuck? So anyone who's worked retail, we know that the fucking dreaded pizza party's coming, even though the company's made major success, all this stuff, and you guys have worked your ass off on 14, 15-hour shifts, and it's like, hey, you guys get Little Caesars hot and ready's. After all that effort. There was a time where we were trying to reach a specific goal in the health side, immunizations. Hey, if you guys get this many shots, corporate supervision will come to your store and help. And I looked,
Don't give me that prize.
and yeah.
It was almost like a.
Yeah. So
Threat?
I'm not gonna hit my goal if that's the case.
so we had like, I think it was combined of a couple of districts. So there was like 45 people on the call, 45, 60 people, because it was an area thing.
Yeah.
45 to 60 managers, and they were like, what the fuck? And all I thought, I was the loudest. Like, all you did was make me not want to try. I understand what you hoped it was, and like, oh, it's corporate supervision in the store. Either the head of HR is coming, or the head of pharmacy is coming, or the head of everything is coming. I'm like, none of that's good. Do you really want me to go and tell my team that if we do really, really well, we're going to be under more pressure?
The microscope is gonna come work with us.
Yeah, the person who is judging everything we do is going to be over your shoulder on Tuesday if you reach this goal. And I had to be tasked with, like, because I had other peers reach out to me like, what do you think of that? I'm like, I think it's fucking terrible. It's awful. And I realize as I'm saying this, I'm volunteering to be the fucking voice of reason. They're like, yeah, do you think you should tell our boss that? I was like, oh, did I just get set up for a call that you were willing to make? I was like, fuck you. So I had a fucking like, hey man, I know you tried to really make this was a great prize. It's stupid.
But on the other side, there was the look at me people that were like, oh my God.
That was the hard part to navigate. We had the people like, pick me.
Yeah.
I want to move up and I want the exposure. Do you want more?
No, thank you.
I want to move up and I want the exposure.
No fucking thing.
I mean, like, yes, but I'm driving home, so
She
no.
is. So I had there were those people. They're like, well, there are people who are trying to move up in their career and don't get much face time. I said, then visit them when they're doing. I don't care. Just don't come to my store. If I reach my goal, visit those. visit the other locations. And he challenged me. He's like, would you be willing to say that at the support office? And I smiled and said, yeah. He's like, really? I was like, I could call them now if you want me to, because at that point I had been working so closely with them. And he's like, bullshit, you won't. I was like, no, I'll call them right now. And it was the weirdest fucking moment. I called support and, hey, Arthur, how are you? Good. I want to talk to you about that prize. You know, what's up? You think it's great? I was like, no, it's awful. They're like, what? Like, let's put this in perspective. If the team is all working towards this goal, because I had to kind of reshape it, the whole team is working towards that goal, and only certain parts of that team get to see you, it wasn't a prize for everyone. And they're like, oh. Like, if a team is working towards that goal and they're really working hard and busting their butts, now they have to also prepare for a visit. Is that really a prize? They're like, oh, yeah. It's like, let's rethink this. I'm like, I'm just letting you advice. And they opted out of it. And later on, they got brought up. I was like, well, Arthur told us it was a bad idea. I was like, yes. But don't blame me. It was always a bad idea. Like, it was always a fucking bad idea. To tell me that my boss's boss's boss is going to show up to my store because I hit goals, not a good thing. I'd rather have had the pizza party.
But, so, yes, agreed.
You rather have the pizza party?
But on the other hand, like, I was never worried about visits.
Always be ready.
My store was fine all the time.
No, I wasn't.
If you're gonna
but
come
it
in,
wasn't
you're
a
gonna come in.
prize.
I'm not going to pony and dog show this thing so you can come in and see what bullshit looks like.
But my goal was you're
going to see the real thing.
100%. My point was it's not a prize.
Right.
If you're
it's
telling,
just added stress.
Yeah, if you're telling me that there's going to be a reward at the end of this rainbow, that should not be it.
Yeah.
And that's where you see that disconnect from support office to like the ground level. It's like, hey, these people are working really, really hard. You know what would be great? Fucking a bunch of anything else. You could have told
a bus full of suits just rolling in.
Yeah, they don't need that shit. Send me $100 gift card to buy them all cupcakes and fucking whatever the fuck food they want.
I will say there was always that one person that just loved visitors.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And it was always the one you didn't want to talk.
Right.
Oh my god! We all had that person, right? we all agreeably had that person that should
person who
not.
was there like maybe 1 or 2 days a week.
What day
but
you guys
had
coming?
a lot
Hey, you want to
of
take some
fans.
PTO?
Hey, Eddie, what are you doing next Tuesday? You look tired. You should take some time off. Hey, Arthur, I don't really need Tuesday off. Why did you give me Tuesday off? You need it. All of us need you to be on Tuesday.
Like, how many times was there I don't know that program. Nobody ever told me about that.
Oh my
I
god!
told you about that yesterday.
We've done it every day for 9 months.
You've done it every day for 9 months.
Oh, I just thought it was called a different thing. I didn't know that's what it was
I
called.
swear to God, I had someone had been the number one in our area, our district for a metric. They came in, supervision came in and said, "Hey, you've been knocking out the park. How did you do this?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "The fuck do you? What are you talking? What do you mean?" I was so mad. In my head, I'm screaming, "You beat everyone in the area and you weren't trying?
The hell's a flu shot?
The fuck are you doing?"
No one ever told me that.
Was I supposed to be doing shots? I just been walking around in circles. The fuck out of here! Like, I hate you so goddamn much. Or the person who's like, I am a low level employee, but I'm gonna tell you exactly how we should be running our business, and that they get the time with the regional vice president. No, don't talk to him.
And then it turns to politics real fast. Real fast.
Oh, did you have that, Amelia?
No.
Oh, so bad.
We had especially during COVID, it got really political more often and not during supervision visits.
I might have just blocked it all out.
It was a dark time. It was a really, really dark time.
I do think that I blocked a lot out.
For mental health.
I don't know. Like, I mean, 13 years is
Traumatic
a long
experiences?
time. But we were talking earlier about, like crazy customer experiences. I'm like, I got nothing. There's no way that I don't have anything.
I'm almost certain you've told me crazy customer experiences.
Yeah, I just can't
was that
recall
word?
anything specific.
No, guys, we're gonna share a quick crazy customer experiences that we're starting to get to the tail end of it, and I feel like Josh has brought up some things that My
Everybody should know.
everyone. I look. If I don't tell you these things, I feel like I'm a bad host. And he told us these things in the kitchen, there around chicken, which it felt really weird. It's like uncomfortable for me. So
I was just enjoying the chicken.
the chicken was great though. Shouts to Publix.
Shout out Publix.
Shout out Publix.
No free ads.
Hashtag not a sponsor, but if you want to holler at me and just provide me with chicken every show, I'll take that. I'll take the free chicken every show. Gets pricey. Listen, Josh, tell us about what is it? What do you like to call it? I'm sorry, ma'am, your coupon is expired. What is the craziest customer experience that you've had? You've been on the show before, but you popped up with some bangers while we're enjoying Publix. So go ahead and share with the team.
You want me to just rifle off some bullet points?
Start with the Muffler Man.
I want to hear about Muffler.
Just Muffler Man?
No, you can go after that, but I want to start with Muffler.
Okay, so we'll start with
I'm
Muffler
setting
Man.
the stage high.
Am I given geographics?
Go
Where
nuts.
we're
I
at?
don't fucking care. No one's. It's fine. I'm
Okay.
small.
So
I'm not Joe Rogan. Damn it. Go ahead.
we doing MDMA? What's up?
I mean, after, yeah. You don't want me on drugs right now. You saw.
We're not getting on a plane.
She seen me on alcohol. Oh my goodness.
And Xanax.
And Xanax. I don't want alcohol and MDMA
We'll lose him. He'll be gone.
in my house.
Our show. Our show.
I'm down. Go ahead.
So on OBT, those of you in Orlando know Orange Blossom Trail,
Oh, there it goes.
441.
It's gorgeous. You guys should see it. There's pamphlets for it. It's
yeah,
fucking
just
a giant bike
That's
miles,
a
trail.
beautiful name.
miles and miles of
bike trails.
excellence.
Yeah, excellence. It's
It
fantastic.
sounds really pretty.
You can ride a bike all over there.
It is not.
But if you call it the OBT,
Oh, that's all different.
yeah, it gets different. So anyway,
That got dark.
ran a store on the OBT for a year and a half. We're just going to go through some bullet points, but these fine folks want to hear the story of the Muffler Man. So when I took over the store 2016, was there for a year and a half. Day one, I was in the store, met this guy, just seemed like a homeless guy in the parking lot, and was like, hey, everything okay? He was just sitting in the curb, not really bothering anybody. Turns out, got to know the guy a little bit because he was there every fucking day, and he would wait for people to park his car or their cars in the parking lot, and then they would come in the store. He would watch them from a bush or somewhere not so far
Naturally.
away, and he would go underneath their car and loosen bolts and unplug wires and things like that, and they'd come back out of the store.
You said listen, bolt. I didn't know about the unplugging wires.
Well, you just quick wire harness, pop it out.
Okay.
So when you go to start the car, lights come on or it doesn't start, whatever the case may be. And he would then come out of the bushes or wherever he was hiding and be like, hey,
That's the most ghetto superhero.
hey, no, his name was Gary, white as shit. But he would come out of the bush and be like, hey, I just saw this shady guy. When you went in the store, he came out and he was just like under your car doing stuff. I could hop under there and take a look if you want. And he'd go fix whatever. He's like, hey, it should be all good. Hey, you got like $5 for me? He would just swindle these people for like $5-10 at a time for fixing the problem that he created.
Are you sure he's not a business student? Because that's supply and demand. 101.
Entrepreneurial?
Yeah.
No. Because then I found him laying in the bushes one day, dead asleep.
The
And
same
I had to call
bushes.
paramedics.
First of all, that bush was resourceful.
And they took him over to 33rd.
33rd is where our jails are here in Orlando. Fuck.
Yeah.
Gary. I did not know the name earlier. So
His
that's
name was
kinda-
Gary.
That's
I feel
disappointing.
like Gary is a good name for a
Yep.
a puppy.
What? I thought Rigatoni was our established name for the next puppy.
I like people names for dogs.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a
I had a dog named Charlie.
That's
The
good
hell is
name
happening
for
here?
A dog.
no. I
His
can't.
That's
full
a
name,
really
though.
good name.
Full name was
You give him-
Charlie Murphy.
Okay, so guys, we're gonna end the show now, forever. That's actually a great name. I don't know if I like human names for dogs.
I
I'm
do.
really,
I
I'm really
know.
upset about this.
I
I'm
really do.
I'm looking
Gary.
at both of you, Gary and Charlie Murphy.
Gary was a white swindler. He was not a dog.
I know, but I'm saying
saying
she's
it would
saying
be a very
she
cute
said you
puppy
can't see my
name.
hand. She said Gary puppy name. You said
Can you just imagine
Charlie
like,
Murphy.
Like Gary.
I don't want to.
Stop that.
He did. He tried, and the guy kept stealing mufflers.
Fuck you, Gary.
I'm here naming my dogs after foods. I'm so chunky.
Rigatoni. I forgot about that.
Rigatoni is a fantastic name for a dog.
We agreed on that?
My first dog's
Yes,
name was
you
Pepper.
sent it to me.
I feel like that sounds like me.
I sent her videos like the dogs, like, oh, my dog Rigatoni. She's like, it was a funny meme, and all she took from it is like the name Rigatoni is fantastic for dogs.
It's true, it is.
I was like, there was a 2-minute video in there that was hilarious, but you're right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that that's all you took from the video.
It's a good dog name.
So we had the Muffler Do Gary, and you had another one about you trying to take a quick lunch break in your car.
Multiple lunch breaks, actually. Yes.
Yeah,
So I would go out into the parking lot and either
Why
go
would you in the
somewhere-
parking lot? Why would
lunch.
you? Well, but why would you go on lunch outside of the building?
Escape.
Oh, just fuck people.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
I had to escape because I didn't want to kill somebody.
For those who've never worked retail management, if you're a leader in retail and you are physically anywhere someone could see you, they are going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So we've all had a conversation
You
about
have to leave the premises.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Like fully leave the premises, as in get in your car,
and leave.
drive away.
Yeah. Even if all you do is go to the next parking lot and eat the lunch that you heated up at your building, don't be in your parking lot.
Yep. Especially after this story.
What
or if
story?
you work on OBT.
The OBT. Get it right.
OBT.
The
OBT.
OBT. Go ahead.
So, I don't know if I should preface with this. I'm a lily white kid from Volusia County.
You should always start every conversation from here on
I
out.
mean, you did say Natty Light or
Lily-
Bush Light.
Bush Light.
Bush Light as
Lily
your
White-
shower
He
beer.
get-
I think that
he
was pretty
gets-
clear.
He gets so offended if you call it anything other than Bush Light.
Lily white kid from Volusia County.
Yes.
And my first store I got promoted to as a store manager was on the OBT.
Goodness.
Yep. So, year and a half and OBT. Anyways, we met
The
Gary the
OBT.
Muffler Man already. We
We established the neighborhood's
yeah.
trends.
Yeah. So we talked about taking lunch. You got to get out of the building. You know, escape so you don't fucking hang somebody or kill somebody because you're
All of those things. Yeah.
Still
True.
fair. Still fair.
So heat up my lunch, went to lunch, whatever I did. But I went out into my truck in the parking lot and just 5-10 minutes in, hear this knocking. I'm like, what the hell? Look over. There's a hooker at the window.
A lady of the night.
A lady of the day. It was
lady of the
12
day.
p.m.
It's 12 p.m. It's still p.m.
The sun was directly above us.
She was trying to give you the full.
Oh, yeah.
You knew what the goods were.
But didn't happen once, didn't happen twice. A good half dozen times in the year and a half that I was there. And before I started realizing, like, okay, I can't eat lunch in my truck out here.
I
Why did it take you so long to realize
Yeah, I was
that
about to say,
you
I was
were
like,
So
on
it was intermittent. I took periods of time in between. It's like, all right, I'll take a month off. I'm not sitting in the truck. I'll like drive
you just hope that
somewhere else.
You hope September will be different.
I'll go to Michigan or something.
You just
like
so-
snowbirds.
you remember when I talked about traumatization and like this industry, and you're just like, maybe it'll change. Did you think the hookers were going to change? And it'd just be
Boy, was I
seasonally,
wrong.
seasonally. So half a dozen times you get knocked on the window, like, "Hey, boy."
No, they were women. Well,
No, they would tell you, "Hey, boy."
yeah.
What? How did? What did they even say that you knew for a fact they were hookers? It was just.
I only rolled the window down one time.
And what did
it was
they
the
say?
first time.
Yeah.
And I just, hey, can I help you? Hey,
Can I help you?
Hey, boy.
Go on.
So I was like, nah.
Nope. Oh my
It
god.
didn't just happen to me, though. It
I know.
happened to supervisors that came to the store to do visits. And they drove considerably nicer vehicles than I did. And when you park a considerably nice vehicle on the OBT and sit in it for any prolonged period of time,
They assume you're John.
yep.
You know what? That actually makes math. That makes sense. Math.
It makes math.
That makes math. Because if a nice vehicle's there and they're like, I'm looking for the dude with the most money, they're gonna go to the nice vehicle. And why is that guy just sitting there for a prolonged amount of time, other than if he wants me to approach?
Girl math?
No, hooker math.
Okay. Hooker math. We've new echelon.
Guess it can be a guy hooker too.
Lady of the day.
Lady of the
No.
day.
Lady of the
at least a PM. Like not necessarily night.
Yeah, it never, to my recollection, it never happened in the morning. It was always PM.
Because you didn't take lunch in the morning. Imagine the motherfuckers who had breakfast in the next parking lot. Those guys
Just
are
trying to eat my McMuffin, goddammit.
I just want some pancakes without all the boobies. Stop it, ma'am.
Wrong kind of cakes.
Oh, goddamn. I remember I worked at the downtown location. And I had more than one lady of the night use our restroom to refresh for a restart. And I'm not going to lie to you.
A little pit stop.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, get your money, honey. Go ahead.
Get your money, honey.
And I was just like, I didn't beef with her. She didn't steal. She bought stuff. She bought all the products that she was utilizing. I was like, yeah, go ahead. Just make sure it's not a mess. She's like, for real? I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Once again, back to the day where I didn't care much. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to lie. I worked at downtown, the 24-hour store. I'm not going to name specifics.
There was a few back then.
Yeah, but that one's like Michigan. Michigan. And I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit. She, for real, I was like, you ain't stealing. I don't care. Like, there are motherfuckers out here stealing. The fact that you came bought all this, hey, can I use your restroom? Say less, homie. I got it. gotta make your money, honey. I was like, do your thing. Just wrap it up. Fucking don't be stupid. I felt like I was supporting a small business. That was wrong. I should not have made that joke. No, but all bullshit aside, like I did. There's a part of me that
might have been an empire.
Stop. There's a part of me that's maybe. There's a part of me that was like, hey, you're doing what you have to. I'd rather you be safe and use my restroom and do what you need to. It's safe space. I don't care. I'm not here to judge you. You do what you have. You're not stealing from me. I'm not mad at you. You're purchasing the product with your earned money. I'm not here to I'm not a lawyer or a cop. I don't care how the fuck you earned it. In my business. As long as you're not hurting anyone, people are coming up to you. That's, hey, Vegas does it. But it's kind of, I know it's funny, but it's kind of true. Like, I was not here to fucking be judge, jury, and executioner.
Right.
I was like, do what the fuck you have to. And at that location, we were so close to downtown and so close to the OBT that I ran into more than one. And I ran into multiple situations where like people fell asleep drunk at their vehicle. I was like, I would see the vehicle running. The person hit the like gray concrete curb. And it was just like, okay. So I would lean in, put it in park, take their keys. I swear on everything I love. I would go, hey, hello? All right, we're not conscious? All right, cool. Park, turn it off, and call the cops. Like, hey, this person, I want to make sure they're not dying. But, hey, they fell asleep in their car. And I would hold on to the keys. Fucking a morning or two later, I was like, hey, this person left their keys here. Like, hey, the person left their keys. And they would come back and say, hey, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, I know what the fuck happened. I know what happened. But your dumbass didn't fucking die. So here you are. And I felt almost like obligation. It's like, I'm not here to cause problems. I just don't want you dying. I don't want you doing anything unsafe. So I ran into more than one lady of the night. They would buy me Red Bulls and coffee.
They would buy you Red Bulls.
Yeah, one of them started coming in with like coffee. I was like, I don't trust where this coffee came from. I don't know where you got this coffee from. She's like, okay, I'll just buy you a drink here. I was like, you don't have to do any of that, madam.
Madam. Oh.
But I was always nice to them, so they were nice to me. So it was a unique circumstance. I think retail really put me in a perspective in situations where I would interact with these kind of situations that I would never in an everyday activity at all. Especially when I worked overnights for so many years, you end up running into people that are in a very different walks of life. I ran into
different.
Very different. I ran into people who were overnight vets at emergency pet clinics. And actually, when I got my dog Peanut back in the day, someone was selling dogs because he was trying to get rid of them. I took all 3 dogs. I bullied him. I'm a big Hispanic dude. Come here. Give me these dogs. I took them, brought them inside. And during that time, an overnight vet tech was like, hey, Arthur, what the fuck is this? I was like, it's a box of puppies. She's like, why do you have a box of puppies? Why do you have a box of puppies? I was like, I took them from some dude who was a piece of shit. She's like, I'm proud of you. But which dog are you keeping? I was like, this one. I thought it was a boy because I didn't check the undercarriage. I didn't check the undercarriage. And this is a real story.
Why did you want a boy?
I didn't. I just picked the one that was like, everyone else, I had handed out all the dogs to my staff. And the one that was left.
She was the last one?
She was the last one. But honestly, I liked that one the most. I was like, I'm picking this one. I held it to the side. I was like, don't touch my dog. And I didn't check the undercarriage. And she's like, oh, you think it's a boy. It's a girl. I was like, cool. Because the dog's name is Universal. It's like, it's a Peanut. She's like, oh my God, like, make sure you do this. And she gave me all the tips and tricks. But I wouldn't have met that person if I hadn't worked overnights. I wouldn't have gotten that dog if I hadn't worked overnights. if I wasn't in that situation. And one of arguably the best experiences was having that dog. And that staff, like all of them got dogs out of this, and we all like, hey, like let's all reconnect. So retail put me in a situation where I ended up running into those crazy, crazy stories. Boy, there's some good shit. There's some funny shit.
There's positives.
Yeah.
My few.
I blocked it all out.
You did.
I did. I also am very grateful that I was never on the OBT.
Or the downtown Orlando.
Were you on the overnight?
I did a couple, but that was never like my role.
I had that straight up role for 6 months.
Well, you were also,
Partying all the time.
yeah,
Partying
that's
all the
right.
time.
That's right. I was in more like affluent areas, which had its own challenges.
Yeah, yeah.
Not like, Lady of the Night knocking on my window, but
Lady of the day.
Lady of the Day.
But do you know who my uncle is? Get out of my store, Greg.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a different. You guys both worked at affluent areas as well. I feel like
After
arguably
the rough
that was
areas.
worse. That was worse than.
Let's be 100% clear. I'm going to say it because you guys don't want to necessarily say it. I'm the host. I worked in a very bougie upscale area where everyone thought you should kiss their ass. And that was worse than any time I worked in the hood.
Dude, that entitlement's
It's
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was just a.
Fuck them. I worked in the hood for the longest time. You know what's the worst thing that happened to me? Someone brought me barbecue and said that I swear to God, I worked in Eatonville, Florida. People are scared of it. I love that neighborhood. I remember we shared a parking lot with Four Rivers, a local barbecue spot, and I was eating there.
Shit, that's right.
Yeah, and we would get free food from them all the time because they're like, hey, someone canceled the order. Do you want this? Yes, I want free food.
You goddamn right I do.
Yeah. So I got free food from them all the time. And there was someone who shopped in the area because it's a very small town. He's like, why are you always eating that Four Rivers? Because it's free. He's like, you don't know good barbecue. I was like, I don't know what are we talking about? I told you it was free food. Are you mad at me for getting free food? He's like, I'll bring you good food. I was like, oh, okay. So where are you working next? I was like, Sunday. He's like, I'll be here at 12. Why are you aggressive about it? Why are you yelling at me? Okay. He shows up. He runs his own food truck. And he dropped off a plate of fucking the most delicious barbecue ever. This is amazing. That's the craziest thing that happened to me in Evo. You know what's the first thing that happened to me in the most upper class area I've ever worked at? I got robbed at gunpoint. I got called 3 racial slurs in the same week. And I was told that I will have your job by this weekend. It was my first or second week there.
Checks out.
Yeah. Yeah. I was never in Edenville or the OBT.
I love the Edenville.
But there was definitely a difference in how people treated you in affluent areas versus even like middle class areas.
Do you feel like that's also like we talk about privilege sometimes here and there, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They're not putting me in the OBT.
Yeah. They're not putting not your privilege. I mean the clientele's privilege.
Both.
I wasn't
Both.
referring that, but I guess that makes sense.
I mean, I'm a petite, very lily white, as Josh said.
They before we came into the room, they both put on sunscreen. No, big funny. That didn't happen.
Bright ass lights in here, bro.
It was big
Turn
funny.
down the UVs.
It's like,
I'm a petite.
melanoma is very serious, guys.
I almost got my ass beat several times on OBT.
Jesus. We're going to talk about this. So, really, you said you felt like they wouldn't put you necessarily in those areas?
Yeah, for sure. I think there was some strategy to that.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
don't?
Yes and no. I know that there was another, her name was Christine.
Don't use real names.
No, I'm not using real names, but I was trying to hint at it, but there we are. This is awkward now.
I don't know who you're talking
It's
about.
KB.
Okay.
We'll off screen. Focus. So there was another lily white, redheaded, very loud personality that got put into OBT Eatonville as one of our first like promotions.
Oh, I knew you're talking
Yeah.
about.
So when she was there on site, she was, I don't know why they put me here. Like, relax. It's not that serious. She's like, should I be nervous? I was like, why did you call the one dark dude you know? Like, I'm more concerned with the fact that you only called me. I don't why don't we unpack that? like what the fuck is wrong with you?
Got bigger
So
problems
that
at
was
hand.
after I had
Yes.
sort of like come up. And I
Yeah.
think that for a while, there was probably some strategy that nobody would ever talk about that placed certain people in certain places.
Yeah.
You know, like there were certain places that they just would not put certain individuals.
Yeah, I didn't get promoted to, like, when I got promoted to the assistant role, like, I was at Eatonville for 3 months, and they're like, hey, we're gonna send you to this really nice area. I was like, why? It's my name is Arthur. Being funny, all jokes. But there was a certain level of, like, there are people who stayed there for so long, it almost made sense, but they wouldn't tell us what that sense was.
I think I was told what that sense was.
I would love to have that conversation off air, because it's interesting. But all that to say,
I blocked out most of
you blocked
my
out
customer experience.
my customer experience was great.
I never had a hooker or a lady of the night.
Lady of the day.
Lady of the day.
Lady of the day
I was
is
never called a slur.
is Pee Wee's Playhouse type of word of the day, phrase of the day. Lady of the day. Fuck it, everyone freaks out. I think that it's crazy though, because we're gonna round this out because we're getting a little long in the tooth. But there's transferable skills that we talked about earlier in the show where there's some things and circumstances and situations that you would never have been ever exposed to in any everyday activity, right? So retail, especially retail management, where you have to be the calmest head in the building while literally someone's fucking crapping on a seat in a pharmacy, while someone else is stealing a bunch of toothbrushes, while someone else is robbing somebody. Like, all these things happen in such rapid succession that you almost become desensitized to everything, right? And when we talk about transferable skills, being able to disconnect, or was it what's the book that you said about psychopaths?
The wisdom of psychopaths.
Yeah, I feel like they built that into us to an extent, where we could remove ourselves and say, okay, I understand all this is awful, being funny to an extent, but I think there's something to be said that retail shaped my ability to break things down. My roommate recently asked me, or he said, oh yeah, you have pretty strong communication skills and you don't really get flustered and you're willing to tell me the truth. It's like, yeah. He's like, I think it's because you worked retail. I'm like, I'm from the hood too, but there might be some truth to what the fuck you just said to me. I'm like,
Very much so.
Like, I'm used to dealing with different dynamics, different people. Like, Amelia's point earlier, we're forced to be in a room with someone I would never interact with. I am now friends with a 52-year-old woman who has 2 kids that have graduated and like blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, that's my best friend at work. I fuck with Janet. Like, me and her go way the fuck back. I will punch Janet says, fuck that guy. I'm going to go beat that guy's ass. Me and Janet would never, she would clutch her purse in a regular activity. Like, if she saw me. And now I'm like best friends at work with this person. So there's a lot of skills. Like, and if you have never worked retail, hospitality, or in any kind of healthcare setting, bro, like, you need to. If you have kids, like, I'm looking for summer job, put their fucking ass at Publix.
Yep.
Make them the cart runner. Make them fucking run around, be the bagger.
Bag groceries.
Yep. Everything. Put them at your local pharmacy. Put them at anywhere else, and just don't fucking just spoil their asses rotten, because this will make them a better human being and more empathetic. As we are getting, it's not too bad. We're gonna round it out, close out soon, because it's also daylight savings time. So in about 45 minutes, we're gonna lose an hour of sleep. 38 minutes, we're about to lose an hour of sleep. So we're gonna wrap it up.
Wait a second, I did not sign up for that.
You should pay attention to your calendar.
Spring forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Hey, great news. We're not in retail.
That's true.
Tomorrow, Sunday.
That's true.
None of that matter. Hey, guys, for anyone who's wondering what's one of the benefits that you didn't know about leaving retail, I don't have to worry about the fact that you lost an hour of sleep, because I'm still going to be sleeping. We're going to start with Josh. You have anything closing or anything on the outs to say to anybody listening to the show, aside from getting me new microphone arms?
Didn't know that was made public, but yeah, no,
That's
glad to
fucking
help
great.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get to keep coming back, I'll continue to contribute.
I shut up. I'm not having this conversation.
No, definitely.
You have to, wait, you have to buy your way in?
No, that's why I was mad. I was like, what?
Listen, I don't know if you know this, but I didn't have to pay to be here.
There's no paid entry for either one of you.
We're going to talk off air.
What are you talking about? I've made it seem like I'm a philanderer. What was it?
Philanderer.
Philanderer.
No, they're a blast as always. Glad to be back for part 2. Glad to have a different person, different perspective this time. But yeah, definitely been a blast.
Good, man. I'm glad you enjoyed. It was a blast to bring you back. I know that last time we got a little game day heavy, not as much as in the life after retail. I think that you both bring a perspective that other people might not have. And it's really refreshing to know that, to the point that Amelia made earlier, there's camaraderie here, right? Different perspectives, different experiences, but we all understood what the fuck happened to us.
Shared trauma.
I feel like we're in the back of a church after hours. Like, my name is so and so, and there's a meeting here. Thanks for coming on, man. Always a pleasure. I know you had drove a whole 35 minutes today. I thought it was further. You dick. I was gonna give you more credit.
It's an hour 15.
Oh, okay. You're just staying there. Fuck. That's
Look
awful.
at that. Credit restored.
Credit restored. Yes. Amelia, what about you? Anything for the listeners at home?
I don't think so. Like, thanks for having me. I guess the big thing would be anybody that wants to do something different, you can.
That's profound. And send me your resume, so I'll send it to her. Not like she doesn't have enough on her plate.
Definitely send it to me, because I think that the biggest takeaway for me of all of it is what you do every day, you can do somewhere else, and it's going to be valued more.
And you are replaceable.
You are replaceable.
You are replaceable.
Understand that as much as those people say they love you, the fucking 5 minutes after you empty that seat, your seat's still warm by the time they fill it.
Right. And also, like, this is, I guess, something just about being a leader or a boss in general. Like, you never know what your people really think of you. You just don't.
Ignorance is bliss.
Fuck them. There are moments afterwards I'm like, oh, I thought we were cool. It's like, they don't really like you. They called the hotline. I was like, what the fuck?
It's just, you're going to have...
I bought them lunch.
So, like, you're in there because you feel like, hey, I need to take care of my people. I need to do this. And they're just, sometimes you need to look out for yourself. And there are many, many, many things that you can do.
Yeah. And it's even not just your team, but people above you. They might say, hey, I really have so much time for this. And no, you're convenient half the time. Really think about the fact that it's easier to have someone set and forget. I don't have to worry about that site. I don't have to worry about that person, like, because they're doing their thing.
Yep.
But also, like, I think it's also important to know that it was really fun for a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
And if that's something that you love to do, then there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
power
And
to you.
there is nobody that should ever disparage that or...
Let's be 100% clear. If it was 5 years ago, all of us would have said this was a vibe and this was our future and this was great.
Yep.
I enjoyed I'm sitting literally at a table with two friends I met at that retail setting. The best man at my wedding, I met at a retail setting. A good amount of my group of friends, I met at a retail setting. I do not take away anything from that experience. I think that shared experience, that fun interactions with customers, those fun interaction with peers, the fun interactions with it's great. But if you feel stuck, there are options, and a bunch of mic issues. If you feel
on the
like,
mic issue.
she's not the only one. Josh hit it a couple of times. I'm fucking with you. I'm giving you a hard. Shut up. Make her feel better. She's new. Say yes. You're right.
Don't lie to me.
No, there we go. No, for real. Like, I think if anything, anyone should take away from this is that you have to understand your value and understand what you bring to the table. Be scared to try something new and try something scary and risky. For all the fuck you found something you're passionate about, something that you're great at, and you didn't fucking exercise that because you thought for the rest of your existence you were just good at saying, hi, ma'am, how are you today? Do you have a coupon? That sucks. And not that those jobs aren't valued. I enjoyed it to to Amelia's point, I enjoyed a lot of that. I enjoyed seeing that smile on someone's face. I enjoyed all of that. But there was a point where I felt stuck. And if you're feeling like that, get the fuck out. Send me the resume. I'll send it to Amelia and we'll get right. Anything else, Amelia, for the rest of the listeners that enjoyed your stories of the best airport experience ever?
It was a very good airport experience.
I'm going to send
Let's do a
that
travel show. We could talk about that.
I'm gonna send that to her SO just for the It's a very good experience. All right, guys. If you have, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a fun experience. This is one of my favorite shows because I think that this is most relatable. I think a lot of my listeners demanded for a part 2 of it, and not so much college game day. Sorry, gotta, and much more of introspective, like, insight on what actually came out of all these years of fucking working retail, and combined with us, we have probably easily over 50, almost 60 years.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You do the math.
I'm not good at math. Remember I said I'm Hispanic. I don't fucking do math unless it's some tacos. That's really wrong. I shouldn't say that.
It's 54 years.
54 years. I was close then. I was right. I was like, for 50 years.
I didn't even try.
Long story short, guys, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed this and demanded more of it. And if you guys want to continue supporting the show, follow at bourbon_and_BS on Instagram, because no one allows me to curse on there. Fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg. And if you are wanting to be part of the Patreon, it's going to be in the show notes. I enjoyed everything about this. If you want more content and more kind of pointed perspectives and shows, please let me know and we can bring on those kind of guests. If you want to be on a guest on the show, email thebourbon.bs@gmail.com so we can get you on the show. As always, thank you for supporting everything that we're doing. This is a passion project, but big shout outs to everyone who has been supportive and the sponsors, Aurora Fable, Burn Pest Control, and all the Patreons. You guys have been great. So stay tuned for more and take care, guys. Good night. Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Burn Termite and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdy Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had, from flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business. I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn Termite and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn Termite and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.